Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys are having a good day today. In this video, I'm going to be trying to figure out why this car randomly doesn't start anymore. It cranks fine, you know. It drove fine a couple days before I left it here, but now it cranks, it doesn't start. One of the first things I'm going to be looking at to try to diagnose why this doesn't start is going to be the fuel pump. I'm going to take off the return line and then hook it up to a longer line to where the driver's seat is and see if it flows into a water bottle. And if it is, then it's probably not fuel related, on the fuel pump side at least. If you're wondering where it is, it's right there. I'm going to pop off this line and add on this line, and on the other end have it go through this water bottle while I'm cranking so that I can see if it's flowing fuel at all. So pop off this line, pull it off, and there's fuel, so that's a good sign. Add this line on. Alright, I got the wrong size, so I gotta go buy the right size. Finally got the correct size fuel hose so I can test the fuel pump. Let's see if it cranks now. It actually started filling up with fuel. Okay, so the fuel pump does work. The next thing I'm going to check is if it actually fires the injectors, and I believe there is a fuse for the injectors somewhere in this box, so I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. So the fuses are going to be on the driver's side engine bay. Look for anything related to injectors, and I believe it will be called EFI. Cover, it gives you all the labels. There's one for EFI and there's another one for EFI. The first one is a fuse and the second one I believe is a relay. Just kidding, this, I don't know what that is. This is a relay. And the one I'm going to be pulling out is this one right here. So stick this tool in. And pull it out. Alright, I'm going to use my pliers. So the next thing I want to check is spark. And I just went ahead and removed the beauty covers. This one. What I'm going to do is take out the spark plug wire, and just like the LS400, I'm going to test each spark plug wire for spark. And if it doesn't have spark, then it might be the cam sensors, or it might just be the injector's not firing off, or it's just the ECU taking a poop. So my little sister's going to come out and help me crank the car, and I'm going to check spark on all 8 cylinders just to make sure it has spark. Just going to go down the list of what I think it could be. If it's not any of those, then it's probably just the ECU, and it just probably just took a crap on itself. So, okay, you ready to help me?
Yeah.
Okay, it'll be this key, okay? And remember last time how you helped me?
No.
Okay, when I tell you to crank it, you crank it. When I tell you to stop, you let go. Okay? Huh? Which way?
Yeah, I forgot.
Like this. And then when I say let go, let go.
Okay. Like this way?
Do it again? No, other way. Yep, like that. Wait, hold on. Don't crank it. It'll freaking shock me. Do I have to... Hold on. I think it might not be sparking because I took out that fuse. So I'm going to disconnect it from the fuel pump. So I thought that the fuel pump connector was back here, so I thought I could disconnect it from here after taking this cover off and then pulling this actual fuel tank cover off. Peeked inside, couldn't see it, and then I saw this line, saw these wires go up through there, so I assumed it would be like the LS400 where the lines were connected to some type of connector, or the wires were connected to some type of connector. So I go all the way back here and I disconnected that one, and they're off. And I made sure a few times to crank it over with the fuel pump disconnected that it wouldn't shoot, or it wouldn't have a running fuel pump while I'm trying to figure out if this has spark. So I gotta get my sister again. Alright, that one doesn't have spark. Let me just check the rest. It fell off. Alright, try one time. Okay, last and final one. Oh, what a surprise. Go ahead. finally back after 1 month break in Vietnam for my vacation with my girlfriend and family. Over that whole month, I've been trying to figure out why the LS400 won't start but it cranks. As you can see, for my 1 month break, I did put on some protection in case anything did happen over here, like hail or just, I don't know. I didn't want anything clogging up on the sunroof or draining into the trunk because the trunk does have a leak. So I put on this ratchet strap and some plastic. But obviously for the LS400, I put a lot more money into what I used to protect it. So. So last time I was working on the power steering pump, I decided to disconnect all the things that are in the way, which included this igniter. Took off these 2 connectors, and that's the reason why there's no spark on all 8 cylinders. I put the battery back in, and I'm going to test all 8 cylinders just to make sure I have spark. And if it does have spark, then I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at the ECU, which is under the passenger glove box. So, with the igniters plugged in, of course, there's spark now. I just, dumb mistake by me by unplugging it while I was removing the power steering pump. There is spark and there is fuel, at least through the lines. My next guess is going to be something super common with LS400s, and it's going to be the ECU. They're just super common for, leaky capacitors. So, I'm going to go ahead and take that out and then see how bad the motherboard is. Not the motherboard, but the board. How bored the bad is. So sad. This car's running not so good, but it was running. And this fix with the ECU is not cheap. I have to get it sent out, get it rebuilt, wait 2 weeks or maybe even like a week, whoever I get it done by, and hopefully it fixes the problem. So, why are you stuck? Do you think I'll be able to put all this back together?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I hope so too. Is it not there? LS400 ECU location. It's gonna be somewhere stupid. Huh? ECU. So with the ECU, it's looking like it needs to get rebuilt. I do see a decent amount of capacitors already starting to leak, and it's leaking at the connection to the board. There is one capacitor that's super loose compared to the rest. Here are some pictures, and here's another video to show for that. Your car needs fuel, spark, air to start, and what I currently know is that the fuel pump does work, but I didn't check fuel pressure, and I didn't check the injectors to see if they actually shoot off, when I'm cranking. For spark, at first I accidentally unplugged the igniters, so that's the reason for no spark. But then after plugging in the igniters again, all of them get spark. 2 main thoughts. They're both kind of a stretch, but I think the spark plugs might be fouled out from all the power steering fluid that was leaking into the cylinders. So I might need to change those out. I'll just take them out and just replace them because they're relatively cheap. I was reading online for a bunch of crank no starts conditions, and it said something about when someone was swapping out an engine, they might have not put all the grounds back together, and that might be why the injectors don't go off. But I haven't even checked if they even click when I'm cranking, so I need to check that. But yeah, that's it for now. Waiting for a friend to get here. I'll just be taking some time to clean all this up while he gets here. So yeah. So I was replacing all the spark plugs, and they look pretty black and burnt out. But also decided to replace the alternator plug because it's cracked. it's just seems like it's gonna be a problem in the future. It was actually pretty easy to depin this, unlike that one where I had to depin the door harness and then everything just broke. And I also replaced this power steering line. This bolt was the hardest thing to get in because the washers kept falling out and it was just the weirdest angle to get the bolts in. Well, look, I got most of it in. Got the power steering pump in. I was rebuilding 2 videos ago. Cleaned up the alternator. You can't really see, but it's a lot more clean. And spark plugs. I do have spark plug wires. Not gonna do them yet. Now for this diagnosis video, I'm probably gonna be breaking it up into 2 or 3 videos just because it would be shorter for you guys to watch and just another way for me to get more videos off to you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.